All right, everyone. So today we are going to be learning how to show perspective in our drawings. This is just a little intro into 1-point perspective. So our goal for today's lesson is to draw shapes and have the shapes look like they're bursting out of a center point, like these two examples right here. This project is really easy. It shouldn't take you more than maybe 15 or 20 minutes to get it perfect and ready for submission. So our first step today is you're going to draw 7 shapes on your paper. They could be any size, any location. They could be rounded. They could be sharp edges. It doesn't matter. So 7 shapes. You can see I'm just doing whatever. I'll do a random shape like that. Maybe I'll do a heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I have 7 shapes. Like I said, the shapes don't matter where they are and what they look like. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to draw a point on your paper. The point on your paper is going to be where your shapes are going to be bursting from. This point can be anywhere. It could be in the corners. It could be over here. It could be over there. It could be over here. It could be over there. It really does not matter. I think I am going to do my point. I think I'll do mine right here. There we go. There's my point. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit trickier, but still, this is a very easy assignment. So, what we need to do now is we need to look at your shapes, and we all have different paper, so you're going to have to adjust and figure out what's working on your paper. And you're going to find any shape that is closest to your dot. So for me, that would be the circle, the triangle, and this shape. I think these 3 shapes are the closest. These shapes out here, it looks like if I try to connect it, I would run into something. I would run into something. I would run into something. This one I could probably get away with, so maybe these 4 are my closest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with any shape that has corners on it. So these corners are here. This one's a circle, so I'm going to ignore that for right now. And I'm going to deal with the shapes that have corners. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, line up on my dot, and then I'm going to rotate my ruler, keeping it on the dot until I hit a corner. And look at that, I hit my first corner. Draw a straight line. Keep it on my dot. Rotate around until I hit another corner. There we go. Draw a line. And there we go. There's my first one. Now let's do this one next. Keep it on my dot. Rotate until I hit a corner. Keep it on my dot. Rotate. There we go. Well, let's see if we could do this one. Let's see if that one fits. Yeah, it's going to be a skinny line, but it works. There we go. 2 shapes done. Let's do this one. On my dot. Go and connect. There we go. On my dot. Connect. On my dot. Connect. There we go. There's 3 of them done. If you have a shape like this where there's like more shapes up here, we can actually go and connect. So what we're going to do is keep it on my dot, line up at the corner, but watch how this is different. I'm going to go and draw my line, but stop when I hit the shape, because we actually don't want to draw on any of these shapes. We want to make sure our shapes stay empty and clear. You're almost going to visualize them almost being like a tabletop. We want to have those tabletops nice and empty, and we're only drawing on the corners that are closest to the dot. So I'm not going to be drawing this line to that dot, because if I did that, I would be drawing on top of my line, on top of my shape, and we don't want to do that, all right? So we're only drawing corners that are closest to our dots to the shapes. Now, you might be wondering, how am I supposed to do this one? There are no corners. Where the heck am I going to draw my lines? So what you're going to do is you're going to put your ruler on your dot like you normally would. And we're not just going to draw a line right there, because that looks silly. There is no perspective there. This is not a lollipop. We're going to make it look like it's popping off of the paper. So I have my ruler on my dot. I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to rotate until I hit the edge of the circle right there. And I draw my line. Now let's start again. Keep my ruler on my dot, rotate until I hit the edge of the circle, right there. There we go. Okay, there we go. We got 4 of those done. Now we need to start connecting these guys. And the reason we're leaving these guys for last is because, remember how I said we don't want to draw anything on top of the shapes? Well, if I tried connecting this triangle line to here, look what happens. I hit a shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to still connect to the dot. We always connect to the dot, but when I draw my line, I'm going to stop if I hit something else. So see how I stop there? This one looks like it will connect all the way down, so we're good here. And there we go. Let's try this heart. I'm going to go and connect on the dot. Connect to the bottom of my heart. There we go. Connect to my dot. Connect to the top of my heart. This one's a little hard because the spiral of the book is right there. And I stopped at my triangle. There we go. Let's do another one. Connect to my dot. Top of the shape. Connect. That one went all the way through. Connect to my dot. Connect to the top of the shape. Oh, it looks like this one will go all the way through too. Maybe not. It actually stops a little bit. Stop when I hit a line. There we go. And look at that. We have all of our shapes now bursting out. Notice how I didn't draw through the tops of any of the shapes. The ones that were further away are hidden behind it. Hidden behind it. If you want, I'll do one more just as an example. We'll put one right here. So if I was going to do that triangle, connect the dot, connect the corner, draw my line until I hit the shape. Let's do another one. Connect the dot, connect the corner, draw my line until I hit the shape. Just like that. All right, my friends. Now we're on to the next step. Now we have to make it look like it's actually really bursting. And the way we get that bursting is by shading into our shapes. Just like you can see in this example here and this example there. The way we shade is that we want to make it darker towards the center where the dot is, and then lighter as we get up to the top. You can see it's nice and darker here, lighter up here. The way we do that is you're actually going to hold your pencil differently. When we're writing our names, we tend to hold our pencil like this to get good accuracy with our writing. But when we shade in art class, we're actually holding our pencil differently. I like to hold my pencil like this, where I have my finger on top of the pencil and I can shade back and forth. So notice how I'm going to shade. I'm starting at the dot. I'm holding it on its side. Notice how I'm only shading in the direction that my shape is moving. Notice how I'm working in sections. I'm not trying to do the whole thing at once. I'm pushing lighter as I go up. Lighter, 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 lighter. Get really light right here. And if you have to color over the edge a little bit, that's okay, because we can go back and erase in a second. Sometimes it's just easier to color over the edge and then go back and erase it. If you do color over the edge, you have to erase it, okay? You can't just leave it. Now you can see it's almost there, but it's a little like section-y. I can always go back with a second round. Make it a little bit darker. Just like that. Kind of blend over it so that way it's a little less section-y. So that way I have darkest to lightest. I'll do one more. So if I'm trying to do this circle right here, actually let's do the triangle. Nice and dark. Notice how I'm always going side to side. I'm not doing random scribbles everywhere. I get lighter as I go up. Nice and light. I'm almost there. I'm going to color over the edge for now, but I will erase it in a second. It's just easier. And there we go. Now I'm going to erase over my mistakes. Right there and right there. And there we go. Now we have two pieces that are popping off. You guys are going to go and color in all of your sections until all of them are colored. And then as a final step, if you would like, you can also decorate the top. You can see with this one, I just decided to color the top shapes different colors. This one, I decided to draw random lines. Feel free to decorate your shapes if you want, or if you want to color the background. I just ask that you please keep these sections colored with value. So that means don't use marker in these sections. These sections, we want to make sure we're keeping the pencil lines there. But in the end result, you're going to have something like this or something like this, and you're going to turn that into Google Classroom. Good luck.